Hey, it's Randy. I'm ready for a rant. So, I just watched a couple of videos on YouTube. Some girls that run a dating service in California, and they're talking about how they can't match anybody up because the men all want women 10 or more years younger than them, and the women want men the same age as them. So that doesn't really link up too well. Basically, the only people who win in this equation are those young women who are willing to date older men. Then I also watched some videos of young women who have been dating older men, and they're complaining about them, that the man has all these rules and that they won't take any risks, and they're very guarded, and they are worried about their money, and you have to treat them with kid gloves because they're so sensitive, and they've been burned, and they're bitter because they've been burned by women in their life, which we know that. I mean, we all have been. But why should a young woman have to put up with that bullshit? I mean, we as older women already have to put up with that kind of bullshit from a man our own age. Why does a young woman even bother to put up with it? I have no clue. When I was younger, I could not stand older men. They were gross. They gave me the creeps. I was never, ever, ever attracted to anyone, even a couple years older than me when I was a teenager and when I was in my 20s, felt ancient to me. And now, guys my age seem to me like they remind me of my grandfather. And I'm not going to kiss or make out with my grandfather. So I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I wish to God I was attracted to men older than me, but I'm not. And I can't really force myself to be attracted to something that I'm not attracted to. So then on some other videos, which I've also talked about in my videos, I recognize, and the world recognizes, if you bother to pay attention to the statistics, that age gap relationships are more likely to fail. Every year apart you are from your partner, you have a 3% more likelihood of the relationship failing. So when you go ahead and hit 10-year difference, that's a 30% higher chance of the relationship failing. And if you want to hit a 20-year difference, that's a 60% more chance of the relationship failing. But, guys don't seem to care about that, right? Now you could say, well, Randy, you're not attracted to men your own age or older. And so how can you expect men to be attracted to women their own age? They're only attracted to younger women. Okay, younger 2, 3, 4 years maybe. But 15 and 20 years younger? Yes, of course, we know. They're attracted to them. So am I. I'm attracted to younger people too. But it's not realistic. And if you pay attention to the statistics, those relationships don't last. They don't work. Very few of them do. Of course, there are exceptions. There's nothing wrong with women in their 40s and 50s, and they should be able to date someone their own age. It's actually cruel. I mean, when I was younger, I never really thought about it too much. I mean, I heard the stories about older women, but I never thought I would be ending up single at my age and having to worry about it. I mean, of course, I've been married already twice. I didn't plan on being single in my 40s and 50s. Not at all. I never foresaw that for myself. And I certainly didn't think that once I turned, 40 years old, that now all suddenly I'm supposed to be attracted to 50 and 60-year-old men. I mean, grandfathers, bald guys. Sorry, no offense for those guys who are bald. I mean, guys lose their hair when they're 25, oftentimes. They don't even have to be 60 to be bald. And, God love you, the women who don't mind bald guys. Good, great, go for it. I mean, I'm glad somebody likes them, but I can't tolerate baldness. I mean, my grandpa was bald. That's all I ever think about, is that gray-haired bald golfer, and they remind me of my grandfather. So, anyway, I just want to let everybody know that some of this stuff is not true in terms of men only wanting to date 10 and 20 years younger than them. I have gone out with guys, a lot of guys, right, through the dating site. And I've only, probably seen them once or twice. So they didn't materialize into any relationship. So, it's not ideal, but they do meet me and we do have a good time. We do have stuff in common. And I have gone down 13 years, as much as 13 years younger than myself. The guys don't even know. They don't even know that how old I am, and they don't care. Okay? So, obviously, if we had fun, and he's 13 years younger than me, and we have stuff to talk about, and he doesn't care, I mean, that's happened, okay? It's not the norm, but a couple of times I've gone out with guys 12, 13 years younger, okay? And definitely between 3 and 8 years younger than myself is basically who I date. That's basically who I'm attracted to. Guys between 3 and 5 and 8 years younger than myself. And the point is they do not care about my age. They don't even know my age, and they don't ask, and it's not an issue. And their age is not an issue to me either, not their age, but their looks and their liveliness. That's what's the issue to me. And whether or not they're, bald. So I don't care about the number either. I mean, I guess they could be 75, and as long as he was like good looking, and energetic, and funny, and we had stuff in common, which I wouldn't have anything in common with a 70-year-old anyway, because that's not my generation. But I can go for guys my age and up to about 8 years younger, and I feel comfortable. And I'm telling you, the men feel comfortable with it too. Okay, they feel very comfortable. They may not fall head over heels. They may not, get a hard on. They may not fall in love with me where their mind is crazy and they're thinking with their dick, but they're not supposed to be doing that anyways, right? But that's, I think, what these guys are looking for. They're looking for this, basically setting themselves up. They're looking for some kind of like romantic situation where they can manipulate a younger woman. They think they're all like experienced and all this BS, which they're not. All they do is have a lot more baggage than the younger girl. And, so what that they have money, because you know, who wants to be liked for your money anyway? But these guys are really setting themselves up for failure when they're looking purposely for people who are 20 years younger. And I know you're going to accuse me. You're going to say, well, Randy, you just said you went out with guys that are 13 years younger. Yes, I did. I did. And, you know, I'm not marrying them or anything, but I did have fun with that age group. And, but ideally, like I said, 3 to 8 years younger is good. And the guys don't care. The guys do not mind. So I'm really tired of it. There's a difference between what their ideal, what they would want. If you say, if you could want anything, what would you have? And then, you know, what is realistic, okay? And I think that realistic for me is a guy that's like 3 to 8 years younger. That's realistic. That is realistic to me because I've had it before. My husband was 5 years younger than me. I mean, since grade school, I still liked the guys that were in the grade younger than me. I mean, I'm sorry. There's something about it, and it's not like that they have good bodies or something. I don't know. I think it's got something to do with the energy that they have. I don't know what it is. But good looking. I don't care what age they are. But you guys, when you're looking for only young women and you're counting all women your own age, counting them out, think you're just, even no matter how beautiful they are, no matter how successful, how stunning they are, how smart they are, you're just totally bypassing them because what you want is someone young. And what you need to know is that those relationships don't last. And I guess if you're just looking for one night stands, then who gives a shit, right? I mean, if we're all just looking for one night stands and FWBs, then yeah, sure, we all want somebody 15, 20 years younger than us. Why wouldn't we, right? For an FWB. But when we're talking about a relationship where you have something in common, I mean, why not somebody around your own age, in the same generation, in the same stage of life? All right, thanks for listening. Have a good night.